Hi, I am Margon from the Green Team, and I would like to tell you a story about birds. This weekend is the big garden birdwatch from the RSPB, and many times we don't really notice the birds, but we can quite often can hear them. And did you know that long ago was no dawn chorus? Birds would sing all day and all night long, and especially in the far north of Scotland, when in the summer months there's hardly any night. Birds would just sing and sing and sing and never take a rest. Many of the animals didn't really enjoy the birds singing day and night because they needed a rest too. And whenever they wanted to sleep in the night time, they couldn't because the birds were just continually singing. They asked the birds, "Can you please stop singing? We need some sleep." But the birds didn't listen. Maybe they didn't hear them. So the animals gathered together and they decided to call upon Angus Og, the god of summer, to ask him for help to get the birds to stop singing at some point so they could get some sleep. Angus Og, when he heard of their plea, he nodded his head and he thought, what can I make the birds do to stop them singing? So his plan was to tire the birds out somehow and that they would eventually rest. So he gathered all the birds together the following day, and all the birds came from the forest, the moors, the meadows, the grasslands, the mountains, from everywhere. They gathered round Angus Og. And he asked, "So who of you is the best singer?" Me, said the birds. And they all shouted so loud, and Angus Og raised his hands and he said, "You know what? I can't hear who's the best singer from all this noise. Tomorrow we're going to have a competition. We will see and hear who's the best singer." Okay, the birds all nodded their heads. But how do we know when the competition starts? I'm going to ask the rooster to crow early in the morning, and that's the sign that the competition starts. Okay. So that evening, there was some birds were resting, some birds were just chirping slowly and slightly to give their voices a rest. And the following morning, at dawn, cock-a-doodle-doo, cock-a-doodle-doo, the rooster crowed and the birds started singing. And they sang as loud and beautiful as best as they could all day long. By the afternoon, they were wondering, so who's won the competition? Is it you or you? So they asked Wood Pigeon to fly to Angus Og late afternoon and ask who won the competition. Angus Og shook his head and said, "Well, you all sang beautifully. I don't really know. It's really difficult to say who won the competition. I could hear lots of beautiful singing, some louder, some not so loud. You know what, Wood Pigeon, fly back and tell the birds competition will start again tomorrow." So that evening, many of the birds were really tired from singing, and they all kind of had a bit of a rest, and it was quiet at night time. The next morning, the rooster crowed again, cock-a-doodle-doo, cock-a-doodle-doo, and the birds started singing at dawn to their heart's content. The best singing they could do, the loudest, the most beautiful. And by afternoon, the pigeon flew back to Angus Og and asked him, so who's won? Who's won the competition? Angus Og shook his head and was like, again, it's a tough one. So many beautiful songs were sung, I don't know. Tomorrow we'll start again the competition. And since then, every dawn, the cockerel crows, cock-a-doodle-doo, and the birds start singing for the dawn chorus. And every evening, Angus Og kind of shakes his head and doesn't know who won the competition. And that's how the dawn chorus became to be. So whenever you're out for a walk, maybe early in the morning or in the afternoon, maybe stand or sit and listen out for the birds. Because even if you can't see them, many birds are around and singing and taking part in this competition, who's the best singer. So please do take part in the Big Garden Birdwatch. And even if you can't see the birds, They are there. Just listen out for them. Thank you.